Do you ever feel as if you're in a situation where you think one thing and whoever your opposition is, they think something else, and you're both butting your heads against each other and just not achieving anything? You're not going anywhere and you're just not moving forward, you can't find a solution. It could be that you are at an impasse, and that is a situation where progress is not possible. And in our 3D world, it's often caused by a dispute of some kind. Or sometimes it could be a task that just appears to be going absolutely nowhere. These things can happen pretty much anywhere. And it's very often where two or more groups are in disagreement and no one will give an inch. Right now we're seeing it happen all around the world. But whatever the problem is, when an impasse is reached, nothing is going to progress and no one is going to win. I think of it as like a brick wall across the road that you're walking on. It's an obstacle to getting where you want to be. It doesn't have to be caused with people. It could be situations like the last piece in the jigsaw puzzle that's missing and it's preventing you from finishing that puzzle. Or you may want to think of an impasse as in the greater political arena that we have around the world at the moment, especially here in Australia, where so many things are against human rights, but the leaders won't even consider coming halfway. However an impasse has come into your life, it means that the way forward isn't happening, at least not in the way that you thought it may. It can happen at work, within the relationships in your life, with your family and friends, and it can happen on your spiritual life too. On your journey through this life, when you come across an obstacle, you generally need to make a choice. Regardless of what the obstacle actually is, it's like a big high wall that's stopping you from progressing. And nothing's going to happen. Nothing is going to change or improve while that big wall is in the way. And so you find that you need to make a choice about how you're going to deal with the problem in front of you. You want to move forward, but something's stopping you. You could ignore it, hope it'll go away or that someone else will deal with it. You could settle down on your side of the obstacle where it's comfortable and where you understand your side of things, and you don't get to be challenged by the other side. And you stop growing. You stagnate. You could get angry and butt heads with the obstacle. Try to convince the other side that you're right and that they are wrong. And maybe they're doing exactly the same thing. Or maybe you're throwing yourself against that wall and the other side are just ignoring you, as if you just don't count. So what else could you do? You could take a step backwards, give yourself a bit of space to review the situation first, and then turn around and walk away. Give yourself time to choose what to do next. In our 3D world, where we all know that you can't separate the physical and the spiritual, there are lots of ways that impasse can form that huge high wall, preventing us from moving forward into that golden age future that we dream of. In our society right now, it can sometimes feel as if those walls are just growing higher, closing us in, trapping us, encasing us. Just settling down where you are comfortable isn't making things better. Butting against the obstacle only seems to encourage its growth. So maybe it's time to look at things from a new perspective. A wise person, when faced with a barrier across her path, looks for another route, a way around the barrier. It's time to redirect our energy. We have been learning that we are all in this current situation. No one really is exempt. Every human that exists on this planet is affected by the current impasse to our growth. Yes, some individuals are growing, but when you consider the collective, nearly 8 billion humans, you could say that we're at an impasse. A lot of us are settling down and getting used to the barriers around us. So far, it seems as if many of us have been ignoring the current impasse, just doing what we're told without too much questioning, settling into where it's comfortable and we don't have to keep pushing. But there is a growing element who have stepped back, taken a good look at the impasse, and then started bashing themselves against that ever-growing obstacle. We know that those things are unlikely to work. We need to find a new way to get through or round or over the obstacle so that we can re-find our path. Or we need to find a completely new path. Every one of us is a part of this planet, this galaxy, this universe even. We are together, and we need to start working together to remove what is stopping us moving forward. We need to come together without countries, without borders, without division. We are all humans of planet Earth. I've come up against an impasse a few times in my life. At times I've chosen to walk away from where the other individual was busy bashing against that wall. I've also given in. I've allowed the other person to metaphorically beat me into the ground, to chew me up and spit me out. In the past, I've been known to ignore such a situation. I've walked away. And yes, I've also fought. And none of it's been easy. It isn't easy. And I'm not saying that it was always the right choice that I made. Sometimes it was right and sometimes I made that wrong choice. But in every instance, I gave myself space to understand more. I gave myself the opportunity to see alternate pathways, new directions to explore. Walking away, even if it was only for a short time, freed me from being right in the middle of the situation where you can't always see the bigger picture. And that allowed me to take the steps that I needed to make in order to fly over that barrier and lightly walk on into my future. This was me, Auri'An, just one human, one thread in the weaving of the collective consciousness of humanity, of Earth. In my experiences with Impasse, I was given the gift to understand how high we could fly if we could only lift each other up over the problems that we've built. If only we can learn to truly understand that we are all one. We are all made of the same stuff, and we are all on the same side. The side of humans and all other beings who call Earth our home. Thank you for joining me. I'm Crone Auri'An of the International Coalition of Crones. These are just my thoughts, and if they give you the opportunity to stop and think about your situation, then that's wonderful. If you have enjoyed this, then don't forget to hit like and subscribe so that you don't miss future episodes. And of course I'll attach some links so that if you want to explore myself or the International Coalition of Crowns, you're very welcome to do so. Have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Gaisha in.